What did Jesus say should be our number one prayer request? I don't know about you, but I've been in prayer meetings where it seems like the only thing people are asking to be prayed about is somebody's sick, somebody's in the hospital, somebody's going to have an operation, or somebody needs a job. Those are all good things, but that's not what Jesus said should be our number one request. When I pray for my kids, when I pray for my family, when I pray for my church, when I pray for my community, when I pray for my country, when I pray for the world, what should be my number one request? Well, in the Lord's Prayer, or the disciples' prayer, it's also called, Jesus gave us an outline for prayer. And you know how it goes. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy kingdom come. That should be our first prayer request. And what does it even mean when we pray that? Thy kingdom come. It sounds good. People say it all over the world, every Sunday, every day. But what does it actually mean? So we want to talk about our number one prayer request, thy kingdom come. Well, first of all, this word thy, when I'm praying, I'm talking about God's kingdom, not my kingdom. His kingdom, His will, His name, His glory. I want Him to be number one. So from the very first word, you're saying God is the priority, God is central, God is the foundation. It's all about God. So when I'm praying for myself, for my family, my church, I am praying for God to be the priority because it's His kingdom. Thy kingdom come. Thy kingdom, where the king exercises his domain. The king's domain, the kingdom. It's where Jesus is ruling and reigning in that person's life, in that person's situation, in that person's finances, their family, their marriage, with their kids, their job, their ministry. Jesus is ruling and reigning. Jesus is number one. Jesus is the boss. It is happening on earth just as Jesus has it happen in heaven. So I'm praying for God's kingdom to rule and reign in my family, and I want it to come. And that word come, in the original language, the verb tense is come now. Come now. I want this to be experienced right now. Well, when we're praying that, we are asking that God's kingdom would come. Jesus would come and fulfill His kingdom on the earth. And we're praying that until then, God's kingdom would be fully realized in my life, in my family, in my church. So we're praying, may God's kingdom be expressed and expand in my life, my family, my church, my country, my world, until my life, my family, my church, my country, my world is just like it is in heaven. So I'm praying for God's kingdom to be realized in those places. And I'm also praying for it to be expanded in those places. When I'm praying for my neighbors who are lost or family members who are lost, I'm praying, God, I want your kingdom to come. I want Jesus to rule and reign in their life. Not themselves, not the enemy, not the world. I want Jesus to rule and reign in their lives. I'm also praying, may King Jesus rule and reign in my life, my family, my church, my country, my world. May He reign in those situations. May He reign in this person and that person and that person and that person by conversion if they haven't been saved, by submission to Jesus if they're not submitting to Jesus, by devotion to King Jesus if they're not serving Him, and by serving of King Jesus and sharing Jesus. May they fully realize Jesus ruling and reigning in their lives. And as you're praying this, you're asking, I want this to happen now in their lives. And God, I want Jesus to come come to earth in His fullness, defeat all His enemies, establish your kingdom. So what happens on this earth is going to be just like it is in heaven. This is our first prayer request. Let me ask you a question. Are you praying this? Is this how you pray? This vertical focus, God-centered focus, God's kingdom focus? If not, I challenge you to start. Our Father who art in heaven, may your name be lifted up, thy kingdom come.